Hello. Today I want to talk about thinking outside the box. It isn't something you can easily do. Thinking differently necessarily will lead to some kind of pushback or disagreement since your thoughts aren't comfortable or familiar to other people. The vehicle you see is my new box truck. It's a V6 turbo diesel hauling a 14-foot box. I will be converting that 14-foot box into a living space. I paid about $2,000 for that truck. As you can see from the video, it's in pretty good condition, all things considered. Basically, the only thing that I could really find wrong with it was a small hole in the radiator. So, for $2,000, it's a pretty good buy. What I love about it is that everything is easily accessible and most everything is mechanical. If something breaks, I can fix it. I don't have to buy a new part, at least in most cases. The modern cars we see are often rolling computers. If something breaks, not only do you need to buy a new part, but you have to have those really expensive scan tools, only available to dealerships, in order to make everything sync to the central computer, or whatever. Everything's becoming dependent on special tools and electronics that oftentimes you aren't even allowed to work on the thing. You have to take it somewhere and pay shit tons of money to someone no smarter than you, but they have authority and special tools and shit. Now, going more broadly, what do you have to do if you want a roof? You have to pay somebody for the privilege. I've seen people complain about property taxes in throwdowns on forums. They have every right to complain about these taxes. When you own a house, do you really own that house? Some of the benefits of owning a house is, well, you can kick someone off the property, resell it for a profit, or do whatever you want inside your property line as long as nobody complains. What? What do you mean as long as nobody complains? That's right. You're still subject to the complaints of others when you own your own house. If you have a mortgage, you don't own that house. The bank owns that house. If you're paying property taxes, the state owns the land that house is sitting on. So, do you really own that house? Sure, the costs of property ownership aren't huge in most parts of the country, but still, do you own that house? No. Your rent costs simply go down as you pay off the mortgage. Your tax costs are rent payments. Now, if you own a rolling house, do you own that property? Yes, you do. Why? Because you no longer have to pay for the privilege. I'm still looking into ways to register the truck without having to pay property taxes, assuming I've moved outside the registered locality. If anybody has any ideas, please let me know. Now, I will still pay gas tax, sales tax on parts, etc. But the fact is, I don't own the land the truck sits on. I own the truck, and I can move the truck when someone tells me to pay. By living in a mobile solution, I've overcome the state property right over my own property, at least to a degree. Now I can work anywhere in the country and not worry about relying on someone else's property to sleep. Sure, there are negative consequences like finding a place to park and fuel costs, etc. But everything has costs and benefits. My point is, if the fact that the state owns your property through taxation is a problem to you, in your opinion, there is a solution to that problem. Buy a truck or an RV. Live in a tent at a campground. Hell, get a job that houses you, like working on a boat in the Gulf of Mexico, like I used to do. Back when I was a commercial diver, I didn't have an apartment or house. I lived in a single cab Ford Ranger. Yeah, it was uncomfortable for about 2 weeks at a time. See, working offshore, we worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we were out there till the job was over, usually about 1 to 2 months at a time. Yeah, the overtime money was great, but why pay for an apartment? Give away all that overtime money when I'm only going to be living in that apartment for about 1 to 2 weeks at a time. I found living in my little truck, which I already owned outright, to be a better option financially. I lived at a local truck stop. I had shower and bathroom facilities, good food, a free-to-me Wi-Fi internet connection, and met some really interesting people. It wasn't a bad solution being homeless for me, and that's something to be aware of. Homelessness doesn't have to be a bad situation. I'd rather be homeless than broke. I had shelter in my truck, so I don't know if you could really call that being homeless. But my shelter was mobile and wasn't made of cardboard, so Well, anyway, I'm not gonna play the my situation is worse than yours game. I was perfectly happy in my homeless situation. I had no mortgage, utility costs, paid pretty much no taxes, and the only housing costs I had were fuel, oil, and maintenance costs. And of course, I had a phone bill. I kept most of my salary, and all my needs were covered. I was living a great life compared to most married homeowners. Now, for those men whose wives have kicked them out of their houses, yeah, it can suck. You've lost your place to go, your right to shelter that you pay good money for. But I want to tell you, there are solutions out there. If you find yourself in a situation that seems hopeless, don't give up and eat a 9mm bullet. There's more to do. Your life is not over, brother. Your life is just beginning. You have the chance to start over and rebuild that pile of ashes. It's just like when you graduated from high school and had to find an income stream and start to meet your own needs. You must look at your situation, your current options, pick a direction, and start walking. Nobody is going to help you. That's just the way this world is. In fact, some people may spit on you and tell you to get a job or whatever. I want any man listening to this video to realize you are always one angry person's complaint away from losing it all and being just like that homeless guy. But god damn it, we are men. Men are the strongest, most capable people on this planet. Men can overcome every fucking problem if they have the will and tools to do so. Men are seen as easily dismissible and will be dismissed as worthless and disregarded by other people. Nobody will help you when you're down on your luck. Well, at least don't count on it. But there is always opportunity in hardship. The key is to see your bad situation as an opportunity. Don't live in the box. Think outside the fucking box. You don't know what's outside the box, so the box is safer. Fuck safety. Safety is for cowards and children. But you are a fucking man. You are stronger than those pussies. Let them revel in their cowardly existence. Lock that box up and walk your own road. Hell, get some fucking snowshoes and make your own road if you must. If you're fucked by an uncaring, dismissive, or even hostile society, walk away and start over. Don't let shame cage you in. You do not have to be anything to anyone. Shame can only affect you if you internalize that shit. Fuck shame. Fuck guilt. Fuck society's chains. Society has conditioned us from day one to be something to society's liking. I'm telling you, you don't need to be anything to anyone. You have to be satisfied with your own life. Whose life is it? Yours or society's? Who owns your house? The bank or the government? They can take it away. Who owns your income stream? Your boss. He can take it away. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. But who owns your life? Who can take your life away? Who can take away your sense of self-worth or purpose? If losing your job or house or freedom can drive you to suicide, someone owns you. If fear of losing status can force you to put your head down and continue on the never-ending road to nowhere, wasting what little life you have, the person controlling that bridle in your teeth, they own you. You are someone's property. Is that okay with you? Throw your rider off your back and trample that son of a bitch till their face is unrecognizable. I want to promote a video by Messenger Rising. The title is Self-Immolation, Neglect, and Self-Harm. Link in the description. He describes a situation every single man in this world has faced, or at least been aware of. We all have a sense of duty to our society, to live up to some prescribed ideal. If we fail to live up to that ideal, we're subject to a feeling of worthlessness that leads to too goddamn many of us committing suicide or self-destruction to one degree or another. And damn it, men, we are better than that. We do not have to be subject to this fucking conditioning. No, it's not easy. It is the hardest thing to break internalized conditioning. Internalized conditioning is as real to one's own mind as physical pain. But we are better than that. Do not let them kill you. Do not let them drive you to your death. Rewrite your mind from scratch if you must, but don't let them own you. It is your right to live, and it is your right to pursue your own fucking happiness. At least make them pull the goddamn trigger. They drove you to madness. The very least they owe you is the effort to end it. You are better than that. Rise above the ashes, walk away, and rebuild. That's what men do. Trust nobody and keep your own counsel. They do not own you. Assert your right to exist by your own rules. The only person that can free you from them is you. Good luck to us all. Thanks for listening.